What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the official podcast. We're finally back. We had like a break for 2-3 months now. Just a lot of stuff that I had to get figured out, but I want to keep doing this as part of the official channel program. If you're watching this on YouTube, I just want to let y'all know that this is actually a podcast over on Spotify that you can go check out. It's also on Apple Podcasts, the podcast app on your phone. So it's everywhere you can get your podcasts, but I also upload these as videos to YouTube. I kind of wanted to clarify that because sometimes that might have, gotten a little bit lost. We're yet again in a new location. I feel like that's a running joke. Also, I always switch locations. I feel like I haven't recorded an episode in the same location twice. Maybe that'll occur at some point because it's, sometimes locations just run out. But this is a platform for me to just ramble about some things. Also, of course, concerning hip hop, they are, of course, very interwoven with what we talk about on the channel in general, but it's more unscripted. And definitely also we're going to talk about today could be a separate video that I do research on and that I edit a bit more professionally. So if you want to, see that, make sure to let me know in the comments on Spotify or also on YouTube if you're watching it there, because this is not supposed to be like a very high edited, high value video production, but definitely what we can talk about is interesting. It's something that I thought about over the past couple of days. It's nothing that was like spawned by anything happening necessarily. It's just something that I've been like picking up on and thinking about every time that a new album drops. And specifically that is the rollout for an album, because a rollout is something that, for a very long time was something very special and very unique to an album. But if you think back even the last 5 years, we only very rarely got a really good rollout. And of course, there are different parameters that play into what makes a rollout great. But usually nowadays, just to kind of state what the status quo is right now, because that's kind of where we're at in hip hop, is an artist announces an album, usually 2 to 3 weeks before it drops. Sometimes only 1.5 to 2 weeks, before it drops. And then in the week, during the week that it drops, so albums usually drop on Fridays because Billboard counts streams or sales from Friday to Friday, so it only makes sense for artists to drop on Fridays. So they have a whole week before the album drops that Friday. And usually around Monday, Tuesday, they'll drop some more information. Maybe they'll give, a cover art for the project and, they give some more info on it. And then sometime around Wednesday or Thursday, they drop the track list with all, the length of the record, the features that are going to be on there. So the track list is usually what people are waiting for. If you look under any comment or any post in the comments for any big album coming out, people are usually like, yo, when are we getting the track list? We need the track list. And I know this very well because I'm the one that makes videos about it. And usually I know when a big album comes out, we can expect the cover art to drop Monday to Tuesday and the track list to drop, Wednesday to Thursday. That is usually when I'm already in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it to drop today. And I know that big album is dropping tomorrow and the track list gotta come at some point today. We very, very rarely have the case that an album just drops without a track list, without a cover art. But to me, that procedure of announcing an album 2 weeks before release and then dropping a cover art or a track list the same week, that's not a very good album rollout to me. And I want to give you 2 examples here. First of all, I want to mention Donda, Kanye, which is probably a very extreme example in this one. But think about Donda, the summer of 2021, like August, late July to then all the way to August 31st. I think that was the release date of Donda, the 31st or the 30th. It was a Sunday. Still remember that like it was yesterday. It was crazy. And also the entire time before that, we had how many listening parties? And with each listening party, we got new tracks. And around this time, after every listening party, these YouTube channels started uploading the snippets that we heard during the listening party. We got different visuals. We had new features confirmed every time. We were kind of wondering, when's the new listening party going to be? We had, him also, well, this was Don the Two now, but I kind of see the two connected. We had, Kanye having Balenciaga be like the apparel supplier for the entire show and having it interwoven with the fashion side of things, and everything just fit together. And that is the last time I can think of like a very, very grand album rollout. And it's probably also the first time that we've seen something like the Donda rollout with the arena listening parties. Obviously, I don't want to say that every album rollout needs to be like that, and I don't want every album rollout to be like that, because I want Kanye to have that special place of being the one that does these crazy things and that does these crazy rollouts. But I'm just saying, stuff like that, we never see any creative way that artists put out their album. Another example I can give, for example, is Kendrick with Mr. Morale. That one was also a very good album rollout, because we had the whole oklama.com website with the different folders, and from time to time there was new information uploaded to the website that we had to like figure out. At some point there was like a file, maybe it was a cover art, I can't remember correctly, but you had to like drag the other folders that were like stacked on top of that one away so that you can like uncover it. That was a very good album rollout, and I liked that. It was fun. It kind of like had you thinking there's something greater going on. You didn't know when something was going to come, when the new information was going to be uploaded to oklama.com, and we made so many theories about it though. And that's something that also I think is very connected to it. If fans have the opportunity to like make theories about it and like, at least have something that they can hold on to and be like, okay, I interpret it that way. Sometimes it's a trailer. I remember, for example, The Weeknd did it for Dawn FM earlier this year, January, when he dropped Dawn FM. He had like a trailer for it. It was very cinematic, and we thought there was going to be a movie to it, stuff like that. But fans were like, okay, I can kind of pick something out of that detail, I can pick something out of that detail, and then they formed their own theory and their own idea of what the album could bring in their minds, and it just brings the community together so much. And I get a lot of comments all the time saying like, this is all theory, this is all rumors, and I get that. Yeah, if you're someone that wants to stay out of it completely and it's just someone that waits for the album to drop, then obviously the rumors and the theories are not for you. But I believe part of a great album rollout is also that the community and the fan base surrounding an artist comes together, makes theories about, and it's kind of like you're like with your friends waiting for the new album to drop. If you're in the subreddits and the Discord for these artists dropping, sometimes that really feels like a friend group, like family, and you're just all waiting for this big album to come out, and it feels like it's a great sense of community. And that is why I believe that theories and rumors are also something that bring together fans a lot. So I think that there's still a net positive in making theories about albums, even if it maybe raises expectations that are then not met, and you kind of leave the album and you're like, okay, this wasn't as I pictured it to be. But even then, it's like at least you had a great time during the rollout. And I know a lot of this also has to do, like the way that it is right now, with the fact that artists are dropping albums more frequently than they used to. Now we have artists dropping albums every year, and I get that you can't devote a big rollout to an album every year. At some point it just gets easier to do the whole first cover, then track list, then release. But I still think that if artists take their time to do these bigger album rollouts, usually 99% of the time they're worth it, and the fans really appreciate it, and they usually get more attention for it as well. But I also get the pressure that you need to drop a lot of quantity of music if you want to stay relevant nowadays, because that is obviously part of the game and part of the nature of the game nowadays. So it's a dilemma. I get that, but still there's something in me that is like, I want albums to have great rollouts. They make they bring character and they bring personality to the album. You're like, okay, that was the album that I thought was gonna be like that because I saw the trailer. I still remember Astroworld. The trailer for Astroworld also dropped the same week that the album dropped. I remember watching it in like a shoe store. Like, I don't know, I have that memory. And okay, that was a great time. Back then, Astroworld dropped, even though I don't think the entire rollout was that great for Astroworld, but just a little trailer goes a long way when you're dropping an album, because it adds personality, it also adds anticipation, and it makes you feel like that album is something special and not just any other project that is dropping. So that's kind of my little rant on album rollouts and what I've been thinking about. As always, let me know your thoughts in the Spotify section down below. I'll have like a little, Q&A or like a little answer field that you can put your comments into, or on YouTube, you can just post it under the video. And let me know if you think that if I do a little bit of research on this and kind of also do this more professionally, that if this would be worth a video that is like a bit more, professional. But that was kind of it. I'm happy we're back doing the podcast. It's dropping every Tuesday. Also, if you want to check out my hoodie right here, comfortable as hell, you can go check it out at shop.bensmusicofficial.com. The link is also on my YouTube channel. It's also in the Spotify description, if I remember correctly. So make sure you go check that out, because that's you get a dope ass hoodie. It's comfortable, in the winter time now when we're all wearing hoodies. And if you're in the game for one, make sure to go check it out, because it's very comfortable and you're supporting your favorite YouTube boy. So that's it for me. I'm happy that I'm back with the podcast. Make sure to go follow on Spotify, rate it on Spotify, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. But for now, I'm out.